Hello everyone and welcome back to Pilates. My name is Bridget and I'm looking forward to this session today. I hope by now you have done the 3 beginner series with myself. We went through neutral spine, breath technique and also some balance challenges. So I would really like you to focus on those techniques that you've learned in the previous sessions and bringing it into our session today. We're going to be focusing on lower body. We've got glute work, we've got some quad work, we've got a little bit of balance and some inner thighs as well. I really hope you enjoy today's session, guys. I will be offering lots and lots of variations for your level, so please choose the options that are right for you today, just depending how your energy levels are, how your body is feeling. Now, you do not need any equipment at all for today's session. However, if you would like for the first standing series, you can hold with one hand onto a chair or a wall or even the counter for a little bit of balance. Please feel free to at any point. Also, when we come down onto the mat, I will be demonstrating an exercise with a soft Pilates ball. Now, this is optional to do without the ball, and you can also, if you don't have a ball and you'd like to use something, you can use a soft cushion, pillow, sort of folded in half. All right, guys, to get going today, we're going to start standing. Bringing your hands to your hips, checking that we've got that neutral spine, length into the lower back. Shift your weight over to your left foot, picking your right leg up, catching your balance, and we're just going to start to circle the ankle. Now, again, if you're feeling a little bit wobbly, just pop your hand onto a chair or wall, finding that center, giving a nice little release into the ankle and opposite direction, just warming up the joints. And returning that down, same thing to the other side, nice and simple to start. All the way around, wiggling the toes as well. Standing nice and tall for that lift through the top of the head. Just starting to notice how your body's feeling in this moment. Seeing if you can deepen your breath. We talk about inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Good, come back to the first leg. We're going to see how high we can lift this knee without shifting the hips. Then seeing how wide you can open the knee and close. You're just working into that mobility and open and close. Supporting leg is lifted, nice and strong. Again, feel free to hold on to something for a little bit of balance. Can we start to circle this knee around? Just opening it up, giving it a good release. Keeping the hips facing forward. And then gently release, bringing that leg back down. Same to the other side, shifting the weight, lifting tall. We start with our opens and close. And open without letting those hips swing, catching that balance. And then we start to circle the ankle, nice big circles, around we go. Keep lifting, feeling that lower abdominal engagement. And releasing that leg back down. Bring your legs hip distance apart or a little bit wider if you need. Feet are tracking forward, so look into the insides of the feet. We're going to start with some squats. So just start with a small range, bending the knees, sending your hips back. Exhale, lifting yourself back up. Coming down, exhale, pushing into the feet to return. Strong, squeezing the glutes, your chest is open. Weight is going back into those heels. You're almost thinking about sitting down into a chair, sending those hips back and return. Hopefully getting that little bit deeper and deeper as our legs start to warm up and lift. Careful that we're not forward folding and bringing the chest too low. Keep that chest lifted for me. Shoulder blades are squeezing. Starting to deepen the breath, maybe getting the heart rate up a little bit. Exhale and press. Let's go 4 more and up. Remember, you can always have a hand on a chair to the side if you need. Last 2. And on our very last one, we are going to hold it down. So if you need to come up a little bit higher, please feel free. Weight is back into those heels. Shoulders are open. We're going to take a little pulse of those hips. Let's go for 10. That tension is staying nice and strong into the tops of the quads. And squeeze. Push those hips back for me for 5, 4. Can we see any lower? 3, 2, 1. Exhale, push yourself back up. We should be nice and warm. We're coming back down when you're ready. This time we're going to raise the right heel off the floor and lower it back down. Left heel lifts and lowers. So we're alternating sides, right and down. Keep those hips low, abs are engaged. Inhaling through the nose, exhale, feeling that wrap around the waistline. So you're almost trying to stretch the arch of the foot as you push that heel over the toes and down. Knees are still parallel. Hips are still nice and low. Let's go 3 more. Exhale for 2. We're feeling those legs. If you need a shake out, guys, please do. Then come back and join us. Right heel stays off the floor. We're adding our pulses back. Let's go for 5. 4, deep in that bend. 3, weight is centered in both feet. For 2, for 1, lower the heel back down. Stay low. Let's go. Second heel lifts. And we pulse it down. Breathing into that stretch of the foot. Roll those shoulders open. 3, 2, and 1. Lower the heel. Bring yourself up just for a brief second. Now, if you need to hold your chair, please do. We're sitting ourselves back down. All right, imagine you're balancing something on top of your head. Now, holding the head there, can you lift both heels off the floor and back down? Now, if that is too much for today, alternate the heels one at a time. Lift and lower. There is so much stability happening in those ankles, knees, hips. You've got core control. Those legs might feel like jelly. Let's go. 3 and down. Staying low with those hips. 2. Last one. Can you keep your heels off the floor? If you need to lower, please do. We've got our final pulse for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower those heels and bring yourself to stand. Give your legs a good shake out for me. Give a little release. Now, this last little series standing, again, you can hold your hand onto a chair if you need. Standing to the tops of your mat for me. Big step back with your right leg. So a little bit wider than a meter distance. Square your hips off so we're facing forward. Both hip bones and both shoulders. Lengthen the lower back for me so we're not arching the back. Think about lifting your pubic bone up, rib cage is soft. All right, all we're gonna do is drop that back knee down, exhale to return. I'm not too fussed with the arms can come forward and lift, they can stay on your hips. Whatever works for you, we're focusing on those legs today. Let's come down, exhale and push. So it's quite a bit of balance on this one. Think about your weight staying even in both feet. Dropping that back knee down nice and low and pressing up. All about the technique. Now I'm gonna add a little hinge onto this move. So we're going to come down into our lunge. From here, I'm going to extend my back leg and shift my body weight forward. So I'm looking slightly down to the top of my mat. My front knee stays bent. Then I return back into my lunge and then return to stand. We go again. We come down, shift the body weight forward. My back leg extends. My feet haven't moved. Return back into that lunge and return. So you're loading up into this front leg. We come down, shift the weight forward. Chest comes forward. Almost feels like you're sticking your bum out. Return back into the lunge. Shoulders on top of hips and return. Let's go. 3 more. Lower, shift forward, shift back and lift. Remember, if you need a little bit more support with your balance, it is quite a challenging one, please hold on to something nearby. And forward, load into that front heel, feel that front glute working, and back, and down, and forward, and back. Shoulders return over the hips every time. Last one for me, guys. We are going to stay in that hinge forward. Now you're pushing into that front heel. Reach your hands as far forward as you can, and we're going to start to tap these back toes out and in. Back toes stay super light on the floor. Make sure the front knee is staying stable, so we're not letting that knee rock in and out. Stay nice and still, and we're tapping those toes. Let's go in and out. Relax the shoulders down and back. We've got 8 to finish. Careful you're not transferring back every time. Keep the weight into the front foot. Woo, we're feeling that glute. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, return and come to stand. Well done. Give the legs a little shake out. You should be feeling it into that front leg. We're spinning ourselves around. You can stay facing the same way if you need. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, we're stepping that left leg back, second leg. Square the hips, square the shoulders, find that length in the lower back. We're dropping down. Exhale to push up. Strong into the legs today. That's it. And exhale, press. And we lower and push. Shoulders are open, so my shoulders are almost stacked on top of the hips as I lower and as I press back up. We've got 5. Inhale and exhale, focusing on what we have spoken about before with the breath. When you're ready, you're gonna add your hinge. Please hold on to a chair if you need. We come down. We're gonna hinge the body weight forward. So your front knee stays bent, your back leg is extending. So I'm loading into this front foot. Return back into the lunge, shoulders on top of hips, and we push back up. We come down, stay low as you shift forward. Return back, stay low, and then we come to stand. That's a lot of tension in those legs. Down, hinge forward, look down to the top of the mat. Return back and push up strong. 3 to go. We're loading into that front glute. And press. Another 2. Hinge forward, return and push. And again. All right, on this last one, we're gonna stay in that hinge. We're bringing our chest forward, front knee stays soft. Reach those hands forward, shoulders slide back, and we're going nice and light with those back toes in and out. Keep the toes nice and light on the floor. If you really wanna take that challenge, you can even do it with the foot off the floor. A little bit more advanced, and out. And out. Let's sit down nice and low into that front heel for me. Squeeze down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return and lifting tall. Give your legs a good shake. Give a little bit of a wiggle. Have a sip of water if you need. We are going to make our way down onto our mat. So bringing yourselves down for me, guys. You can slowly lower the knees. And then we're just going to spin ourselves around to come onto our back. Now is your chance, if you do have a soft Pilates ball lying around at home. Looks like this, it's quite squishy. Grab that. If you don't have one, you can use a small cushion, fold it in half. It's going to come in between the knees. If you don't have anything, just imagine you've got something. You don't need it. It's just for a little bit of inner thigh engagement. All right, holding on to the legs, we're going to round the back, scoop the belly in, and you're just going to slowly imprint your spine bone by bone as we roll down. So you should feel that massage of the back. Nice and controlled. Relax. Whew. Slide your feet in a little bit closer towards you. So when you reach your arms down, you should just be able to touch your heels. Now, it should be comfortable for the knees. If it's not, wiggle the feet a little bit further away. All right. Legs are roughly hip distance apart. You may have that ball in between your knees for a little bit of inner thigh engagement. Relaxing the shoulders for me. Now, I'm just going to move my hands so you can see my pelvis a little bit more. What I want you to do is tuck your bum under. So it feels like you're lifting your tailbone off the floor and your lower back is imprinted into the mat. Holding it there, you're going to start to squeeze your glutes as you slowly start to lift your hips off the floor. One vertebrae at a time, we're squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. You're pushing down into those heels. Now keep the rib cage soft, keep their chest quite heavy, and keep trying to lift those sit bones up into the air. At the top, you're going to slowly start to imprint the rib cage back down, and then the lower back, and then the last thing to come down is your pelvis. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, find that lovely tuck of the tail. You're squeezing those glutes and we're rolling ourselves slowly back up into our shoulder bridge. Now, if you've got a ball, you can give that ball a nice tight squeeze at the top. And then you're imprinting the rib cage first, lower back, and then your pelvis to finish. So it's a massage and imprint of the spine. Let's go a little bit quicker. Tuck the tail, squeeze those glutes as we lift up. We're squeezing that ball. Give that ball a tight squeeze at the top and control yourselves back down. All right, 2 to go. Inhale, exhale. Let's lift back up a little bit quicker. Squeeze at the top and control back down. Check the neck, your jaw. Shoulders are all nice and relaxed. No tension in the upper body. Squeeze back up. It's all coming into those glutes. Hold at the top for me, guys. We're going to start to squeeze that ball or cushion. Trying to pop it. Let's go for 8, 7. So just imagining you've got something. If you don't have anything in between your knees, still getting that strong squeeze. For 4, 3, hips stay high, 2, 1. Now hold it there. Can we add a little pulse of those hips up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Squeeze those glutes, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to go together. We're going to pulse the hips and squeeze the ball at the same time. Up and in, up and in, up and in, up and in for 5. Coordination, 4. Lift and squeeze, 3, 2. Last 1, and you're going to imprint that spine all the way back down. Grab your ball, pop it to the side, just pop it out the way, hands back down to the floor. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, we're rolling back up through the spine. We're not done yet. Squeezing those glutes nice and strong. Now your goal here is to keep your pelvis as still as possible. No movement. Keep that strong squeeze in the backs of the legs. Now push down into the arms. You're going to slowly transfer your weight to your right foot and lift that left leg to tabletop. Woo. Hold, hold, hold. Return the leg back down. Stay where you are. Try not to move those hips. Now transfer the weight to your left leg. Push into the heel and lift that right leg to tabletop. Careful we're not moving those hips. And lower back down. And we go again. Transfer and lift. Squeeze those glutes. And return. Now if you need to lower down to the floor in between, please do so. Transfer and lift. And down, keep that tuck of the tail. Now guys, if you'd like to make this one step further, you can reach the hands to the ceiling, less contact to the floor, transfer the weight and squeeze and hold. And back down. And transfer, squeeze and hold. That's a strong squeeze into those glutes. And back down, we've got 1 more each side. Transfer, squeeze and hold. And return. Last one, squeeze your glutes and lift. Lower back down. Now can we finish with our 10 pulses? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And imprint the spine back down. Well done. 1 knee at a time, gently bringing it in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze and just a gentle rock side to side just to give the back a little bit of a breather. We're not done yet, guys. We're going to finish today's session off with some strong side hip work. So into those glutes again. All right, we're rolling ourselves gently. You can pop the ball away. Roll yourself gently over onto your side for me. So you can shuffle yourself back. I want you to align yourself with the back of the mat. And then you're going to bring your knees forward in line with your hips. And your shins are roughly in line with the front of the mat. So you've got a 90-degree angle. Almost looks like you're sitting on a chair. Lovely. Relaxing the head down for me in a nice comfortable position. Now with your top hands, you're going to push this hip away from you. As you push your hip away, you can notice my top waistline starts to lengthen. I also get a little bit of a lift on that underneath side. See if you can then stack your knees on top of each other, so the top knee isn't pulled back. All right, all we're going to do from here is keep the upper body held right where it is, and you're just going to lift that top leg, float it off, and lower back down. So the whole leg is lifting, keeping it the same shape, up and down. Now your aim is to keep the pelvis nice and still. Try not to rock it about. And we squeeze to lift and lower back down. And up and down. So you might feel quite light to start. That leg might just float off the floor and back down. We will be feeling it into this top hip in a moment. And lift and lower. Now if you're looking to advance these moves, feel free to pop a loop band or resistance band around your thighs, and then you're adding that resistance as you lift and lower the legs. So you can do the exact same move with the resistance band. It's going to be a little bit more challenging. All right, one more time, we're going to hold that leg up. Now, without moving your thigh, look towards your leg. Can you extend your leg straight forward? Bend it back in and then lower back down. So we lift, extend, bend, return. Now, as you extend that leg, it's going to be a little bit heavier for that hip to hold. Make sure that you're not letting your hip pull forward. Try to keep it pulled back, keep it in the place, and return. And up, extend, bend, return. You've got 3 to go. Lift, extend, bend, return. It's starting to warm up a little bit more into that top hip. and down. Last one, we're gonna hold it here and we're gonna tap down and lift. Ooh, down and lift, squeeze. That leg will feel quite heavy. If it gets too much, bend it back in and continue with a bent knee. And we go, 5. Exhale, 4. Can we lift that underneath waistline off the floor for 3? Stack those hips for 2. Oh, I'm feeling that in my top hip. Last one, can we hold it there and pulse? We always finish with those pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're going to flex your foot and pull your leg away from you. So the leg is in one long line. Waistline is still off the floor. Lovely, guys. Now we're going to work into the mobility. We're going to start to circle this leg for 5, keeping the rest of the body still for 4. Push the heel away. Exhale for 3. Squeeze it back. Keep the toes facing forward for 2. And 1. Opposite direction. Mobilizing that hip and squeeze and circle. 5. All the way around for 4. Keeping the pelvis still. 3, smiling for 2. Last one, squeeze. And then just bend that knee back down. Give your hip a little bit of love, whatever you need into that side. Gently place your top hand down and you're gonna push into that arm to bring yourself slowly up to seated position. Extend your legs forward of you and then cross the leg that you were lifting over. So you're gonna pick the foot up. Give your hips a little bit of a shuffle, wrap the opposite elbow around, and you're just giving that leg a nice tight hug with the option to lift through the top of the head and rotate around to the back wall. So you're twisting over that leg. You should feel quite a deep glute stretch here. So inhale, think lift. Exhale, think spiral. One more breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, we twist and gently rotate back. Guys, we're finishing with one more side. Let's bring our legs over, bending the knees. Shuffle yourself back so you're still on your mat. And then you're gently going to lie yourself back down, all the way down onto your side. So just check your alignment before we get going. So your shoulder is in line with your hip and you're thinking about pushing those hips away. You're stacking the knees and your knees are in a 90-degree angle. So it's not in this position, slightly different exercise. You've got your knees all the way up and they're in line with your hips. All right, once we've found this position, stack the knees, stack the hips, lift that bottom waistline, and we're gonna float the leg off the floor and back down. And squeeze and down. So it's different to our glute clams where we lift just the knee. Different exercise, similar muscle group, lift and lower. Check that the rib cage is still inside the body. We're not letting everything else just relax. We're still keeping it held. Up and down. And enjoy these first few lifts when that leg feels nice and light. 3. Exhale for 2. And one more. We're going to hold it up. We're going to extend our leg, bend the leg and return. So your aim is to keep your thighs hovering off each other so they're staying parallel. Now if this is a little bit too much today, extend it on a diagonal and that's going to be a little bit lighter for the glute. And it diagonal. Yeah, if you'd like to make it stronger, you extend it straight in front of you and back, and that you're really going to feel that warming up into that top hip. And back. Let's go 2 more. Not a long series, but it is quite a strong one. And out. Last one for me. We're going to hold that leg nice and long and we're going to tap the toes to the floor and lift back up. And tap and lift. Now if this is too much, keep your knee bent and continue with a bent knee. And up. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. Last one, let's hold it there. And 8, 7. Pulses up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. We're going to flex that foot and push the foot away. Gives a little bit of a release and a nice stretch into the front of the leg. Now keeping the pelvis still, we've got our 5 circles to finish. Nice big circles, finding that full range. Open out that hip a little bit. Keep the toes facing forward. Center of the body is held. And then changing direction. So go back, up and around. Back, up and around. 2 more. Last one for me. And then just bend that leg in. Give it a little bit of a rub, whatever you need into that hip. Gently place the hands down and you're gonna slowly slide yourself back up. Extending the legs forward, give those hips a little bit of a shake. Top leg comes over, so the leg that you were lifting wraps over. Sitting tall, and we're gonna just cross the opposite elbow. Give your leg a nice tight hug, and then lifting tall, and we exhale, rotate over the leg that we're stretching. Inhale, lifting, exhale, twisting. Should feel that glute nice and warm. Inhale up, exhale, twist. And gently rotating back out. Extend your legs out for me. Give the hips a little bit of a wiggle. Take a nice big inhale, reaching the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, up and over we go. Big stretch for the toes. And bringing yourselves back to seated. Well done, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's session. We are all done for today for the lower body. Looking forward to seeing you all soon for our next session. Have a lovely, lovely day. Thank you for joining. My name is Bridget.